Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following confession that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to us by one of our dear brother, and the message, it reads like this. Admin, please post for me. I am typing this from my house. I stay in Stain City. My hands are shaking right now. I am always following a lot of channels that has to do a lot with spirituality. I am a crippled man, but if you see my wealth, you'll be like, yo, this guy, he has made it big. But people, they do not know that they are the things that I did in my life that made me to have all of this money that I have right now. The reason as to why I am sitting in this wheelchair today with all these millions that I have in my bank account, but no legs to walk with, it is because I tried to play with God and I thought that I could trust the devil more than you can trust God. When I am going around, if I see a Nyaupe boy, I feel like he or she is living the best time of his life, being a crippled man with no legs and not being allowed to do anything about your disability. I do have bed sores, and these bed sores that I have just underneath my leg, these bed sores, they are not caused by the fact that I am always in the wheelchair or sleeping on the bed, but they are some tokologies that come and lick those bed sores that I do have, and it becomes so painful. You can't treat them, you can't cure them. And these tokologies, I don't know if they belong to my neighbor. I once returned to the Sangoma who assisted me, but that Sangoma could not give me an answer as to why I was having all of these bed sores. If you grew up poor, you know that hunger is not just in your stomach. Hunger will control everything that you do in that moment. Many years ago, I was a nobody. I used to be a rank manager. I won't tell you the place where I used to be a rank manager, even though I was well educated, but I blame my ancestors because I was supposed to do Ugutwasa, but we did not have the money for me to go and to do that. So my ancestors, instead of blessing me, they ended up cursing me. I am an educated person, but to find a job, it was very difficult for me. I did business management. I did anything that you can think of, but it did not work. I was living in a back room with my wife, whom I will call Lerato. Lerato, man, she was beautiful. She was the kind of a woman who deserved the world, but all that I could give her was promises after promises. My mom lived in a nearby shack. It was hard. It was hell on earth. When it rained, the water did not just come in, it took over. My mom's back was bent because she had worked for the white people for a very long time, 40 years of washing clothes for white people in the suburbs. But she was never given anything when those people retired. They just gave her a small envelope that had little money, and that was it. And I decided right then that I would rather die than be poor. I told myself that I would do anything to get her out of that shack. There was this other guy. He was a Malawian man who used to sell herbs to us, us people that were in the taxi industry. We always had access to all of these women that would want free transport, and some of them, they will give you STIs because they will be sleeping around with everyone. So I used to go and buy some herbs from him. All of a sudden, he shows up in a Lexus wearing beautiful clothes, and he told me that he had recently bought a house. He saw that I had been struggling ever since he had known me. He said to me, Mfana, if you want real power and money, if you want money, a lot of it, you need to go to Mozambique. He gave me a name and a village near Gorongosa. If you know it, there is a big mountain in Mozambique. It is called the Gorongosa Mountains. That was where he told me that he had gone to. I did something stupid. I stole 50,000 from the taxi association Stockfell. I knew that if I did not come back rich, I was a dead man. The first thing that I did was to hide my mom. I went to KZN and I hid my mom in KZN. I went with my wife. My wife, she was from Lesotho, and I told her to just cross over to visit her family. I'll be back. I took a bus, then I hiked into the bushes. I met a man whom I had been communicating with. I met a man there. He did not even look like a Sangoma. He told me that his father was the one that was the Sangoma. As for him, he was a businessman. They were into the business of selling Sandawanas to people that wanted to be rich. He wore this old black suit that was so shiny and smart. And then he told me that if I had the money, first of all, we were going to stay at his house in the village. Then we would go to the mountains where his father was going to give me a Sandawana. When we were at his house, there were other couple of South Africans. To my surprise, there was one Afrikaner man. It was so surprising for me. We were like, Mulung, what are you doing here? You also want to do rituals. He said that he was doing some research. He wanted to see and to know if indeed this African magic was for real. He told me a story of what had happened on their farm as they were growing up. And that what had happened on their farm is what made him want to know more about the African tradition. So at night, we were told that the Sandawana, it does not eat grass. He told us for his own safety as well as for his own family, they were going to write our names on a book. They gave us a book. You were supposed to write your name, your surname, your father and your mother's name as well as their surnames. And you were supposed to write that if there is anything that will ever happen to me, if this Sandawana, if I do not give it the food that it wants, if I do not give it the things that it wants, then it should finish my bloodline. It should never come back to trouble this healer. And then I wrote the name of that healer that I can't tell you. And then we were told to sign. We signed. I was young. And remember, I had stole 50,000 from the taxi association. That is a lot of money that can get you killed in Joburg. So it was either I will stay in Mozambique for the rest of my life, to just look for somewhere to stay and to never come back to South Africa. And the pain was when I was thinking about my mother. As for my wife, it was better. She was from Lesotho. She could come back to South Africa and maybe choose another province where she was going to stay. Brother, I was young, I was greedy. I thought that if I just get this Sandawana, I was going to own the whole world. We climbed up that mountain, the Korongosa mountain, and we arrived at this other place where there was a cave. Inside that cave, that was where this Sangoma was staying. It was so scary. I saw snakes that were in there. We were given the Sandawanas, each one of us, including that white man. I came back with a small clay pot wrapped in black cloth. Within 6 months, the taxi guys, I had already paid them. They had even forgotten that I had stolen their money because I bought 5 brand new Quantums. Even one of the other guy, I bought him a new Quantum to say that I was sorry. Then the trucks started. I got an Eskom tender. After I had gotten this Eskom tender, they wanted the latest model trucks of that year. Since I did not have trucks that were brand new, they gave me the LOI and the contract, and I went with it to the bank, and the bank was more than happy to finance me. All that I had to do was to look for a dealership. The contract was there. It was millions. I bought my 18-wheelers to 10. Contracts just appeared. I used to have so many phone numbers of people that you would see on TV. They would be calling me midnight, some of them CEOs, to give me business. I did not even have to try. Why? Because I was using the Sandawana oil. I bought Lerato everything that she wanted, but the money that I had been using, it was money that I was being given by the Sandawana. I bought a Gucci, trips to Dubai, plenty of cars. There was one time when we used to have 8 German SUVs by our house, but she was not happy because she always saw things that she would see in the house, and she knew that there was something that was wrong. My mother passed away. When my mother passed away, my brother, I went and I collected some soil from her grave. So Lerato, she felt that there was something that was happening. Lerato, my healthy, beautiful wife, just collapsed. The doctors at the best private hospitals in Santon had no idea what was wrong. She just passed away. In 3 months, my queen looked like a skeleton. She had cancer. She died. It was on a Tuesday. We buried her in a white and gold coffin. You know how much it cost me? 250,000. People at the funeral, they were like, he loved her so much. I fought for her body to be buried here in South Africa because I wanted to do something after the burial. If they knew that we were going to rob that coffin, they did not know that I was a murderer. I had traded her life for the trucks that I have. And every time when I think about it, sometimes I cry. I feel that I just need to return back to Mozambique to destroy that healer. But you can't shoot a sangoma. He can die, but his tokoloshis will come after you. A year later, that was when I was told that the Sandawana, it needs a new altar. I was supposed to sacrifice my sister as well. I then built a guest house, and this guest house that I built, these are the ghosts that stay in that guest house. My wife, she stays in the main house with me because a coffin is upstairs. Sleeping with the spirit of my wife, this is what has made me to become a crippled man who can't do anything. So the guest house that is at my house, but at the back, it is a beautiful house. So there are times when I bring in maids. These maids, they come, they clean, but they do not know that there are some things that stay in them, as in the Sandawana, as well as the soil that I got from the grave. And as for the coffin that we buried my sister in, I had another same coffin exactly made like that. I always keep it in my house as well. 2 years ago, that was when I just felt that there was something that was like biting me underneath my feet, and it was very painful. I saw blood that was mixed with water in my bodily fluids that was coming out. I tried to walk, and then I fell to the floor like a sack of potatoes. I went to Germany. I went to America. The doctors, they wanted to do an operation, but then I was told that if I go ahead with that operation, I am going to die. So I'm not allowed to get myself help, even though I have all of this money, but I am supposed to be in this wheelchair until I die. So here I am. I might be in a wheelchair, my brother, that can even cost 500,000. But does it really matter? Most of my days, I sit in my study watching my tracks on my GPS screen, and I know every green dot is my money. But when I think about all these tracks that I have, it really does not even matter at all, because of the way that I sacrificed myself, my family, all for what? There are women that wish that they can be mine, but they do not know that I can't give them anything apart from money. As for sex, it is out of the window. I can't give a woman sex because I sleep with my wife's spirit. To the young guys in the trucking industry, do not look for shortcuts or mutim to get contracts. Look at me. I might be driving a G-Wagon. I don't drive. I'll be sitting. It's either by the passenger seat or at the back. You can see me in a mansion, but if I could give it all back just to go back to that shack where me and Liratom used to stay, even for 1 minute. That is how much I have suffered. 1 minute of poverty. That is what I have been asking for God, so that I can just get my life, the soft life that I am living. I know that there might be someone who is also in a similar situation. You are broke. Maybe you have taken money from someone that does not belong to you. You want to give that person the money back and you can't afford it. And then you think about going to do some rituals. Do not do it, my brother. Do not do it, my sister. You might see people that are living a soft life, but living a soft life using muti, it will only cause pain in your life. It will only bring grief and suffering to those that you love. When you post my story, please tell me. I'll be following through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. He's saying that he went to Gorongosa. Yo. Can you believe it? He went to Mozambique because he took some money from the taxi association. And then he went and he did his rituals. He bought a sandawana. Now he's crippled. He can't do anything, always in his house. Yet he has all of these drugs and he can't enjoy his money. Let us meet again in the following episode.